Right, awesome. So we want to implement Run-Length encoder using JS. Right. So in this process, we are gonna use this source as a part of our explanation to actually get a wrap through it. So this is a link to what I'm reading. To what I'm using. Alright. So what is run-length encoding with JavaScript? Yeah. So run-length encoding is a form of lossless data compression. Right? It's a lossless data compression. So this runs data of data runs data runs of data stored as a single data value and count rather than as the original run. So basically what this means is, for example, we have A, B, B, C, D, something like that. So a run is this way. So for example, we at A. So let's say program. So as an example, we're in A, and then it goes to the next character and pound. There's another A. So this is taken as a run. So we log it in. So we're gonna be, we have one value of A, we have two values of A. Then we're gonna check, is the next index also an A? Then it says yes, that's a value, that's an index, that's another index where A is. So far count was initialized at, let's say, 1. So it means now it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. So now we have 3 A's, and it's gonna check, is the next index A? Then it finds now actually the next value is B. So this means that we stop the initial run, which was A run. So let's say we're gonna update. Remember here we're gonna say this runs of data stored as a single data value and count rather than the original run. So now we're gonna have a new string, and then it's gonna store this, let's say for example, as 3A. I hope that explanation works. So we are gonna be doing this. So first, the pseudocode. Yeah, let's create a pseudocode for this. Let's create a pseudocode for this. All right. So first we'll begin iteration over the whole string. All right. So iterate. Let's just write one here. Iterate over the string as a whole. Two, we will actually check the value, the next value, against your current, the current value, right? So we are doing this. The reason why we're doing this is to detect the start of a run. As I explained earlier here, a run is, if we detect the next value is the same as this current value, it means a run has started. Then our third step is, if a run is counted is encountered, you begin iteration, right? And then so you begin an iteration, and then which catalogs the run, and also adds the corresponding number. So you can say adds the corresponding number of appearance, let's say 3. Right. So here there's a special condition where what if a run exceeds 9, right? Awesome. I'm going to explain it later when we are going through the code. All right. So let's start, right? Then I'll start making the program. So we're going to have to have an empty string, right? Well, we're going to be adding the run segments, and also we're going to have to initialize a count variable because we have to track how many times we have met A or B or C or any letter. And then now we're going to also have to have an outer iteration to process the input strings. So let's create a function, and then in this function let's call it Run-Length Encoding, and then let's pass a value string. We'll call it a parameter string. Alright, and then here remember we said we're gonna initialize an empty string, the count variable, right? The count variable and the iteration. We're going to be using a for loop to do that. Alright, so we now have a function which is now called the Run-Length Encodings, and it has this parameter value which is string, or let's say a value string. Alright, so what we do is let result be equal to that, and then let count be equal to 1. So we've initialized our empty string, which is this, and then we also initialize our count to 1, so that we don't come here and say 0, because if we say 0 it's gonna only be 2, and as you can see here there are 3 A's, not 2 A's. And then we're gonna say for let I be equal to 0, and then I should be less than string whatever we passed here dot length, and then we gonna increase the value of I with every iteration. Alright, and then we're gonna return results. So basically that's what we have as the general build-up, right? Alright, so we are going to need also to put some information in here. We're gonna have to put some iteration here. So this here is what we're gonna be building our iteration logic. Alright. All right. All right, for the iteration logic, we're gonna need to have another variable. So for this variable, let's say for example we have a new variable called j, and then we want to like increment it. So for example we have j, let's see. So we have j, and we want to do this. So we have j, and we want to set j to be equal to, sorry, this should be let than let. So we want to initialize j to be I plus 1, right? So what was I? I was this. So I was to look through the whole string, and then we want j to be equal to I plus 1. So to increase the value of j plus 1 to move forward. And then we want to check, right? So let's check this out. So we want to do this. So while string I is the same as string j, so while the index of string I and that of string j are the same, what do? We increase count plus plus, right? So remember, the reason why we're having j is to go over to the next point. So if you're at a, we started at a, right? I, this one, but now j is gonna be I plus 1. So you're gonna be moving this plus this. So what you're gonna do is we want to check is whatever value in here in I, this was I, the same as this, the value in j. Now this is j, our second value. So if it is, we say what? We increment now count to with another 1 extra. So it's gonna be now 2 because we encountered a. So you're gonna just do 1 plus 1. So this is now where the run begins. Okay, this is now where the run begins. So if, let's say for example count is equal to 0, so this is the, like, we're handling an edge case here, then do plus plus. So we're just gonna move j forward, and then we're gonna break it because this is to prevent us from having an overflow. So, or else, if that's not the case, right, we do j plus plus. So we want to print results. So what we're going to do is result. So result is now going to be equal to, right? Remember, now results is going to change. We first initialize it as an empty, but now it's not going to be empty anymore. It's going to be count plus the string I. So here's now where we're going to be putting it as either how many times. Okay, so count was how many times a has appeared. So for example, we found 3 a's. Then the string, now the string which was here when we were iterating first, what was a is what we're going to put at the front. And then we're going to also do this count equals to 1, and also I equals to j minus 1. All right. right. That's okay. That's okay. And now we want to output the value, right? Right. So let's try putting something. Right. So let's try putting this. So console.log run and encode. Let's say A C D, and then come here and say Node Run-Length Encode. Alright, what is it saying? Cannot find Run-Length Encode. Oh, sorry, encode original. Wait, what's happening? So we're having an error here. Const encode equals to encode original. Oh, actually, alright, this is okay for a no, it's not. Const encode. Where is this error from? Run-Length encode. Okay, length at 7. There's no length at 7. Am I having another code? I don't have another code. Same. So why am I having an error? Let's confirm. Alright, I think that was supposed to work, right? So we have the function Run-Length encode and pass in the string, and then we have the results, and we have count, which is equals to 1. Then we had first started the loop, then run into the length, then we had j, which was to get to the next number, next value, and then we checked while string I is the same as string j. We increment the count. Oh, and if the count, sorry, this was not supposed to be 9, sorry. So this was to handle the 8 case where what if a run exceeds 9. Yeah, because it was if count is the same as 9. Alright, I think that's okay. Yeah, that should give us now the value. Let's first save this file and then let's run it. Alright, it's taking time. Let's see if it will encode it. I have no any other errors. Plus or j plus. Oh, I have another issue. I didn't close the while loop. Did I? Yes, I didn't successfully. This was supposed to be inside the while loop. Now we're now having an infinite loop. This was supposed to be in here. Yes, this if was supposed to be in there. So So it's supposed to be this way. I don't know, I put the other side, but it cannot be this way. Yes, I think that should now work, because this should only be in the while string, because it will not be outside. We're not checking for this outside it. Let's do that, and let's run it. Save it and run it. Yes, there it is. Alright, so what did it give us? We gave it how many A's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successfully. Then we also give it 8 B's, and then we give it 5 C's, and we only give it 1 D. That can say that was a successful encoding, right?